But joining me right now, head baseball coach Phil Clabaugh. Coach Clay, welcome to Sports Look.
Thank you, Kane. It's always good to be here.
Well, before I get into the competition of the Lone Star, you brought up the bat being different. How much different do you think that's going to make your style of ball?
Well, with the exception of the 96 team, 96 we hit a lot of balls out of the yard.
Right.
We are traditionally not a team that is stacked with a lot of power.
Right.
But we do some things with the bat, especially in our two-strike approach. I don't think it's going to affect our offense as much as it's going to affect, say, an Angelo, possibly an Abilene Christian, although Abilene runs and Angelo does as well. West Texas got big guys. They swing hard. This came into effect in the middle of August after recruiting season was over with.
Right.
And there's a no grandfather clause in on the bats, which irritated some guys because
they recruited.
Yes, yes. And so this first year possibly we may have an upper hand on that, providing that our guys
do what they're capable of.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
I know, for lack of a better term, this new bat is kind of a knee-jerk reaction to some health and safety issues at the NCAA. And I shouldn't say knee-jerk. I'm sure some gold guy behind the green curtain did a study on it. But for the most part, do you think that this bat is a good idea?
We used, because we couldn't get the bats, all the Division I guys get theirs, but, we couldn't get the bats till the last week of the fall, so we used wood.
Mm-hmm.
To be quite honest with you, I think we could have made the jump from the BESR certification and gone straight to wood, and because it looks to me like that's eventually where it's going to go. The bats are, the sweet spot's a little larger than what it is with wood, but the ball's not going to go any farther.
Right.
So I didn't think there was a lot wrong with our game the way it was. A pro player hits with a piece of wood. Well, he goes to work at 8 in the morning and gets off at 5, and that's at the baseball field.
Right.
We got guys a couple hours a day, and if they don't come to the indoor and hit on their own, then they're never going to get enough hacks, enough swings to become a really good hitter. So, and the NCAA practice hours, all those things involved, it doesn't allow the average hitter to be a good hitter, and maybe and again, my age, I'm not opposed to seeing those kind of games, but I don't think anything was wrong with our game. I think it was an exciting game. And I'm not real sure that it's a wait and see thing on how it's going to affect Division II baseball. They talk about crowds, where there are not a lot of crowds in Division II baseball anyway. I don't know if we have enough good hitters to face the kind of pitching that you see, because there are more 90-mile-an-hour arms out there now.
Right. Well, it sounds like not only is there new players on the ballpark, there's a little bit of a new feel to the game with the new bat. So there's a lot of fun expectations of this season, I would think. And obviously you always want to see how your team's going to perform. And there's always competition out there. This is the last year of the quote-unquote the full-on Lone Star. So what kind of competition do you expect to see top to bottom in the Lone Stars? Is it going to be average as always, where it's murderer's row 4, 5, 6 weeks out of each year?
It's going to be that way. We were picked, I can't, 10th maybe in the preseason poll, but that's generally where we're always picked.
Right.
It's funny, the 3 teams below us, I think we went 4-8 against last year. And the guys above us, we played kind of okay against. Tarleton is going to be outstanding. They have been building 3 years for this year. Coach Conger has put together an outstanding squad, outstanding pitching. Kingsville made a big turn last year, obviously made the tournament. Angelo's always going to be Angelo. The inclusion of Incarnate Word, they are an outstanding team, run by an ex-pro, Danny Heap. They were beaten in the 12th inning by Abilene in the elimination game before the championship game in the regional. Then obviously you've got Cameron and Mike Matheny in Southeastern. We hadn't even talked about Bonneau and Abilene yet. Vandenberg has done a great job at WT. They've got the new field. They've got all those things going. Southwestern went to Angelo. That was the only conference series that we saw, and they beat them in 13 innings, one of the games. So it's, you know, if you can get a win, you better get it. I thought with the 36 conference games, I thought we'd have to win 20 to make the tournament. Now then that there's a series that's gone, maybe 18. 18 may get us there. 19 is probably going to get us there, but 18 might. So it really doesn't matter where those wins come from. I don't care where we get them, but that we have to try to get them when we can.
First 18, last 18, or somewhere sprinkled in the middle.
That's right. That's right.
Well, Clay, I know I'm getting to go with you this weekend, and I'm really excited for that, so I'm looking forward to that. But come back visit with us. We'd like to see how that first week goes, maybe the first couple weeks conference.
Yeah, I'm hoping it goes well. And you know, I would trade the whole weekend for 2 wins out of 3 the weekend after against WT.
Yes, you and me both.
Conference is conference. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.